All right, good morning. It's Monday, so that can only mean one thing. We're about to get into some Monday morning quarterback. I want to welcome back my guest, Juwan, from over at Geek Five Nations.
What's going on?
Uh, our other co-host was unable to come in today. I want to send some good vibes his way. He is going to get checked out at the doctor, so hopefully everything comes out good for him.
Right.
Other than that, look, I can't say as a football fan. I mean, as a Giants fan, especially this week, but as a football fan in general, we've been kind of spoiled with some of these really good games.
Mm-hmm.
The only game I wish maybe could have been better was that last night's game. And it was good, but it wasn't the game that I was expecting. That maybe it was the weather. Maybe it was just the emotions that were flying, but it was a little tough to watch. I know you're a Patriots fan, so I don't know how you felt about that game, especially since they lost. But other than that, like we've had some really good matchups, and next week's even better. I think we're going to get some really good matchups, especially with that Sunday night game with Bills and Chiefs. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so really quick, I want to just go over my Giant takeaways. Look, it was a big win. I didn't have the Giants winning this week. I thought the Saints were going to handle their business, and the only reason why I would have picked the Giants is, and I've said this how many weeks in a row now, with the exception of that Denver loss, because that was a clear cut loss.
Right.
Their other two losses came down to last second field goal. And if you want to break it down even more, it came down to a fucking penalty on one of them. So they just kept coming close. They just kept beating themselves. But the way the Saints and the way Winston's been playing, and specifically the Saints defense as well, I really thought that they were going to handle business. But look, down 11 points with about 7 and change to go in the game, Giants rallied back. Second straight game, they had to get a 2-point conversion, and Daniel Jones is the one that put it through.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, not a lot was said last week, and I forgot to mention it too. When they needed that 2-point conversion, I don't know if you remember the play. Jones barreled through a linebacker. He literally just pushed through a linebacker and
Yep.
won that match and went through, and he's been really doing whatever he can in his third season to make this team win, and I think he finished with 402 yards, which was the first time he's ever gone. That's the highest in his career,
Mm-hmm.
and he also had a touchdown that was negated. It was ruled not a touchdown because it was a fumble and it was recovered in the end zone. So it should have been a touchdown throw in the stat book. And of course, he's got an interception, which was done on a Hail Mary. It was a last second heave, I believe, before the half ended.
Right.
So I really can't. Once again, another week, Daniel Jones doesn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
Again, I'm not including a Hail Mary. Hail Marys are Hail Marys. But
Right.
if
You don't count that.
smart with smart moves, smart plays, and really good football, and even the defense. I know they allowed 18 points, but the defense came through when they needed to. They
Yep.
did.
No, I was just gonna say I've been trying to tell you guys, man. Daniel Jones has the talent. He can be you guys' franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of actually what I saw most from Daniel Jones is I think
Mike. I said before at the early start that we're. I'm said. Well, Jawan too. We're sending good vibes your way, bro.
absolutely, Mike. I think what's his name? Jason Garrett should approach Daniel Jones the way that New England approached Mac Jones last night.
Okay,
Spread out offense.
which was good. They
Spread
they
out
moved. Yeah,
offense. And you could just move the football because guys like that, they need to be able to see the entire defense. When you do the I formation or you do the HB draw, whatever you do, the blitz comes so quick they can't see it coming.
yeah.
It's the play action, so their back is turned for a second. They turn around, smack. You don't have a good enough offensive line to pull that off. And you don't have a good enough offensive line to really get Saquon going the way that you need to. So Giants
Another
really
game. Another game at 50 something yards.
right. So that's what I'm saying. Giants really should look into just going to a spread out offense where you allow him to have another. What do you have? 401 yards.
4-2. I thought. See, when I looked on NFL line, it said 401, but it was official at 402. But yeah,
That's insane, bro. So
yeah.
it lets you know right there. That's your success. Spread out offense. You got so many gifted targets, and Saquon can catch it. Just let the man air it out. It's what I've been saying about Matt. When you watch his highlights in college, it's like just let him air it out. Stop with all this nonsense. Just let them air it out.
I want to say something, and this was the first time I think maybe against Washington I felt this way. Maybe even against Atlanta, but I know it was definitely against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they were down 11 points, for some reason I felt like they were going to win. And this offense, I have a lot. I hold a lot of stock in that offense. I have a lot of confidence in this offense. This offense, especially when Jones throws the ball, and the targets that he has. I know Shepard's is still out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as is Slayton, but Galladay came through on several plays. But the other thing is they need to incorporate, and he even said it too. I think he said it after game one. Tony, the guy that they drafted, they're like, you have to give me the ball. And he's proven that. Like he made, even on short throws, he made plays with his legs. He extended plays. And that guy, John Ross, I did not expect that speed. Yeah, I had no idea. He broke the Columbine record. He had the what do you call it on the 40? Oh no, what is it called? What's that run called?
It is the dash.
Yeah. The 40-yard dash?
Yeah, I
thought it was dash. Yeah, so he broke the Columbine record with the fastest speed. So this kid is fast. Yep. So look, I'm not saying that once they get Shepard back and even Slayton that they aren't going to even be better, but these guys, especially Tony, they got to incorporate more. And I think they knew that. And that was the recipe in yesterday's game. It really was. And of course, but the other thing is too, the defense. The defense can't be said enough. It did come up big on the plays it needed to. I know there were a couple of drives that the Saints came down the field very easily. Right. But and also too, they were playing at home. The Saints were playing at home. They were playing in front of a home crowd that really wanted this win. So this was a big win on the road. And like I said, being down 11 points with 7 minutes to go in the game didn't really bode well for the Giants, especially in the previous week. So this was a big win.
Yeah, I'm very proud of them. And like I said, I'm watching the highlights now, and their best drives are when they go mostly spread out.
Yeah.
Because it just gives Daniel Jones a better opportunity. Like I'm looking, it's just play after play after play spread out.
And here's the other thing too about being spread out. Their best drives are when they're out of the red zone. They can't score in the red zone. They can't do it.
Right, because you don't have a good enough offensive line, so it limits your plays. So if you can't rush it in, you don't have a quarterback that's a Cam Newton that can barrel his way.
I mean, obviously Barkley did get the final rushing touchdown in the red zone. They did score in the red zone in overtime, but on their 2 touchdowns, and obviously the one was ended up being a fumble and a recovery, but that was a 52-yard throw. Mm-hmm. And then the Saquon Barkley was a 54-yard throw. That was to Saquon Barkley running a route down the line. That was insane, and I'm glad. Look, again, I know he only got, I think, 52 on the ground, but he did get the 54-yard receiving. So they're utilizing him in other ways. They're like, all right, we can't run him up the gut, but he is making plays sometimes with his legs, but also catching. So that's also good.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones is also a guy that you guys can run some wildcat with.
Yeah.
You don't ever. I'm not saying use it like he's Cam Newton, but it is something that on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, you need that first down. Run the wildcat with him, man. It'll throw people off. They won't expect him to.
Well, I agree. I've said that too. Do some more RPOs. Do some more of those because Jones can take it himself. Jones actually gets more yards per carry than Barkley does. Not for nothing.
Right.
And then one other thing though too, and it happens every fucking game. Even the announcer said it to the other announcer. Every time they put a graphic on the fucking screen, they jinx these fucking kickers
all the time, bro. I swear.
Shut the fuck up.
They said it last night. They were just like, "Oh, Nick Folk was practicing from this range earlier today," and then he misses the shit by like 3 inches, and I'm like, why can't they just not say anything? Like, as a fan, I don't need to know everything about Nick Folk's resume. Just let him kick it. Let him kick it.
Graham, I mean, in their defense, Graham Gano did kick 37 straight. He was going for 38.
Right.
He was going for a record, but at the same time, it's just like, oh my God, as soon as they put that graphic on, I'm like, oh, he's going to lose. I mean, he's going to miss the field goal.
They did it. They did it. They also did it when they were like, "Oh, Mac Jones is 19 for 19. Can he go 3 for 20?" And then
he went
complete, and
which was Brady's old record.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, you are killing. They are just such, and they know it because they'll
They know.
say it.
He said it. The announcer said it on the Giant game. The other announcer said, "You just jinxed it." He goes, "You." He goes, "I didn't put the graphic up there." He was like, "No, I'm blaming you though."
Yeah, I'm blaming you. You should.
I'm blaming you.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, speaking of records, Brady passed Breeze yesterday in the game. You know, Breeze was actually there at the game. You know, if he would have done it in Tampa, obviously they would have stopped the game. They would have had a little bit more or whatever. But they did. You know, they showed the graphic on the screen and that was it.
Well, no. Also remember two things. One, he asked Robert Kraft not to make a big thing out of it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Two, remember that play was very fishy.
Yeah.
They originally said he was 2
yards short. Oh, 2 yards? I thought it was yard.
Yeah, it was 2 yards short. It went to commercial break, came back. They gave it to him in the commercial break.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where it's like, well, all right, here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Here you go. You did it. But, like, it's in the middle of a drive. So, like, you don't want them, you know what I'm saying, to stop momentum. Brady's not that kind of guy where he wants you to stop his momentum. So.
I got you. No, I understand. But, you know, again, hats off to Brady. And the guy's probably going to play until he's 50 years old anyway. But, all right. So those are the Giant takeaways. Let's go into, I'm going to make sure I want to change them now. Joel, what do you got as going in for your game of the week? Like I said, there was a handful of them. There was at least 5 I could think of. I mean, you could even say the Thursday night game with the Bengals and Jaguars. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it. It was a close game, but I don't know if I want to put a Jaguars game right now in a game of the week. But what do you got going for your game of the week?
It's tough. You're making me pick one, and I'm stuck in a tie.
Well, say the one, like say your choice, and then honorable mention the other one because I know it's tough.
Okay, so my honorable mention is New England, Tampa.
Yeah.
That was a nail biter.
Mm-hmm.
And it, God, I just love this kid, Mac Jones, man.
He was he came up big for that, and again, like I said, if that weather was better, I think it would have been more of a shootout between the two teams. I really do.
I think the weather not being good is what went to Mac Jones's benefit because Brady was struggling.
Brady was struggling, yeah, but at the same time, Brady's played in Foxborough his whole career. Right. You're going to tell me you're not used to that weather?
I think it was just a culmination of things. Coming home.
I think so too. I think it was more adrenaline and emotion. Yeah.
The fact that the fans were openly booing you after, once you came out on the field. But Mac Jones, his poise, man, I really am disappointed in Bill not giving him a chance to go for it. I mean, because look, you lost, so, just go for it. You know how I feel about that. Go for it.
I'm glad you bring that up because I wanted to ask you because that's not going to come up on my game of the week or whatever. So, but I'm glad you brought it up for 2 reasons. One, because we're talking about this, but at the same time, I did want to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
If Brady was still wearing a Patriots uniform, does he go for that field goal?
No, only because if Brady picks up the first down, Bill trusts Brady with 1 timeout to get you in better field goal range. But with Mac Jones, rookie quarterback, your receivers are relatively young. They're not young like rookies, but you just don't want to put the ball in someone's hands that makes a mistake, and now you have no timeouts. Time runs out. Buccaneers win anyway.
Yeah.
But when you have Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Manning, Mahomes with 30-something seconds left with 1 timeout, you trust them. You go for it. But
Juwan, I don't even think it matters if it's a timeout or not, to be honest with you. I think if you have number 12 at the center, I think he still would have went for it, even with a timeout or not.
Yeah, see, well, what? Okay, 2 things mess New England up. 2 things mess New England up to lose this game. And then I'm sorry, I'm going to go to my actual pick. But
okay,
the first thing was New England stopped Tampa at a halftime and then got the ball back. And they're literally like 30, 35 yards from the Tampa's end zone, right?
Yeah.
J.J. Taylor gets the ball on a little screen pass and fumbles it. And when he fumbled it, I said, well, there you go. There it is. That's it right there. That's what you can't do. Because, look, we lost 19-17, right? If we at least get a field goal on that drive, we're having a completely different conversation. Brady would have had to go for it on 4th down in our end zone. He couldn't have just settled with that field goal.
You're right.
It gives us a whole new life. So it's like that play, and then obviously the play of the game, I think it was Levante David. I could be wrong. He gets the block because Jacoby Myers was wide open across the middle.
That was a big block because that was if they complete that pass, obviously they got probably first down. They don't have to go for a field goal there.
They got the first. Well, no, here's the thing, because the only time I will ever say this, because the magnitude of that game, Jacoby Myers gets that first down, right?
Yeah.
You throw one more time, and if you can get a good chunk play, good, hold it. Then you do another shot at the end zone. If you get nothing, you just you sit on it, and then you take the final timeout, and then you just kick that field goal from a better position.
Yeah.
So that game could have went our way. But my actual pick is I'm going with Zach Wilson and the Jets just completely embarrassing the Tennessee Titans in a game no one saw coming. Jet fans were sitting there just like, what is this?
I couldn't believe it because the Titans had a good lead. That's number one. Number two, I wouldn't say embarrassed. I mean, I guess it's embarrassing by itself. And I'm sorry, Jet fans, but I guess it's embarrassing when you lose to the Jets. But look, Derrick Henry had a big game. You know, it's not like the Titans got shut out or whatever. They won. They lost in overtime. The Jets just happened to be a better team. But the big factor of it was the 7 sacks. The Jets sacked them 7 times. So I don't know what's going on with that offensive line because I mean, obviously it's formidable enough to allow Derrick Henry to have back-to-back. What do you call it? I think he's back-to-back rusher of the week, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So right behind him was Ezekiel Elliott, but Derrick Henry had a big game. He did what he had to do for the Titans to win, and it just came down to, like I said, the Jets defense came up big when they needed to. Well, they tied the game, and
the Jets don't have the best corners. So the fact that you have A.J. Brown and Julio Jones and you weren't able to hang up more points on
No. See, my brother picked the Jets for that reason. They were out.
They were out?
Yes.
Why did I not know that?
My brother picked the Jets, and I said, "What? Are you nuts? Why would you pick the Jets to win?" He goes, "They don't have Brown or Julio Jones."
Wow. Your backups can't be that bad then. How bad are their backups?
I don't know. I'm gonna look right now, but I'm almost positive that's what he said. I'm pretty sure both receivers were out of the game.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. They lost to the Jets. So something egregious had to happen.
Yeah. You got McNichols, Rodgers, Reynolds, Westbrook, Fursker, Henry, Pruitt. Yeah. I told you. You had no Julio Jones, and you had no Brown. So that was another factor in that game as well.
See, then that's even more stupid on Tennessee's part. You should have re-signed Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Just so you had another weapon, and they just used them so well. Like I'm seeing how New England uses Jonnu, and they just can't figure him out. So you letting him walk, and it's like, well, you brought in Julio. Julio's not 22.
Yeah, no, he's not.
So it's like,
he's still Julio Jones, but he's nowhere near the player he used to be. He's nowhere near the player. But now that you know that, now the Jets win makes sense.
Yes, 100%.
And they only lost by 3 in overtime. It could have went either way.
That isn't.
Didn't they?
More about the Jets.
Did they miss the field goal to tie it in overtime?
Hold on, I'm watching the highlights. The highlights are on now.
I don't think they got it. Wait, yeah, I think they did. I think the Titans missed the field goal to tie it in overtime.
Let me see. All right, it's in the 4th.
Or maybe it didn't go. Maybe it didn't get to that. Maybe the Jets stopped them on 4th. I can't really remember. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't watching this game, but I did see the ending. I thought maybe the Titans did miss the field goal, but either way, it doesn't matter. Jets won. I'm not going to take the win against the Jets. It was a big win. Both New York teams, Jersey, both local teams won yesterday in overtime.
You trying to rob that from us?
No, it was funny. My brother sent me a graphic because he's a Bills fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, these New York teams, they can't win a game." And Buffalo's like, "Excuse me."
People forget that Buffalo is
Buffalo's the only New York team.
They forget that. They completely forget that. But I mean, again, it's really easy to forget because they've just been putrid for so long.
Yeah.
So long. I mean, at least recently the Jets were in AFC championship games. Giants won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Those are just known as the guys who would go there and just stink it up.
Yeah, the Bills are known for the team that won. I'm the only team that's ever gone to 4 straight. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. But, doing that in itself is a feat that I don't think any team will ever do. I really don't. Not 4 straight.
4 straight? No.
All right. Well, if I got to go for a game of the week, I'm going to go with the Giants and Saints. I am. I look, it's a big win. I might be a little biased here because it's, the Giants won. I even wanted to go game of the week when they played the other teams and lost, because
I told
win
you
or lose, the Washington one was great. Yeah, look, I think I even said it that week. The Giants did a couple of things. They got big stops from the defense when they needed, but Daniel Jones and the offense proved that they can come back from a deficit on the road if you just give him a little bit more leeway. Don't have him on such a short leash. Let him, like you said, let him air it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did it without Shepard. They did it without Slayton. Ingram had a couple of whatever, but Ingram really wasn't a factor. They did it. Kyle Rudolph also had a couple of good catches, but their main factors were Tony and Ross. And Galladay. Galladay, I can't forget Galladay. Galladay actually had a really big game. So,
really good.
Yeah. So I think moving forward, I do really, really quick, because I know we're going to get into it in a minute, but I don't know offhand who it is. Week 5. Just more looking forward. I want to see who they play. Oh, shit. Fucking Dallas. Well, moving forward, playing at Dallas, but again, it gives you a little bit more confidence. Dallas had a big game against the Panthers, and I think that was one of that was my honorable mention was the Cowboys at Panthers. And that could go either game or surprise of the week, to be honest with you, because I had the Panthers defense handling Dak a little bit. Dak didn't throw as many yards, but he still had 4 touchdowns. Right. I think Dak had under 200 yards passing, actually. Mm-hmm. It was Ezekiel Elliott that actually ran amok. Yeah.
If Ezekiel's doing his job, Dak shouldn't have to. Yeah, about 500 yards a game.
Yeah, exactly. So he did what he needed to do. He threw his 4 touchdowns, and the Cowboys did whatever. So that's going to be a big game. That's a huge game now because you got division rivals, but at the same time, this is now a close division. You got Dallas at 3-1, I believe. Washington's at 2-2. Mm-hmm. Think the Eagles are what, 1-3?
1-3, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a very close race.
But you are right. Titans did miss the field goal in overtime.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it came down to, because that's what I was. You know what? Now I know, because I was thinking to myself, what happens if he makes it? Do they extend it, or will it end in a tie if time expires?
I think they'll do a second overtime.
It is a second overtime, right?
I think they
that's
will.
What I thought.
I think they will. Yeah.
All right, moving forward, what do you got as surprise of the week?
It's hard not to give the Jets both game of the week and surprise of the week. See, this one's tough. I'm gonna go with the Giants. Because Daniel Jones, 400 yards. Last time I remember seeing Daniel Jones play this well was against Tampa Bay. That Jameis year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When him and Jameis went head to head, and it was just like, we're just gonna keep throwing touchdowns. You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember that Sunday afternoon, Eli Manning versus Drew Brees?
They brought that up. They brought that up. It was a 52-49. 52-49.
Bro, no one could stop Odell Beckham. Literally, no one could stop Odell. I remember I had him in fantasy that year, and I remember getting an alert on my phone like, "Wait a minute, Eli's doing what?"
Yeah, it was in October. November of 2015.
Yep. Eli was airing that thing.
Yeah.
And Philly is 1-2. They lost, so they're 1-3 now.
Okay.
But yeah, it reminded me of that, and I'm like, that's what I'm saying. If you guys give Daniel Jones a chance,
no. I'm on the Daniel Jones. I am. Look,
right there.
Hold on to the ball. That's it. That's all. That's the only criticism that I have ever had with him is just hold on to the ball. And most people said that. I never blamed his the Giants' woes on Daniel Jones. And I was telling that to Mike. Oh, we got to get rid of him. We got to draft a quarterback this year. I was like, Mike, this is his third season coming up. They got a lot of weapons for him to play around with. The offensive line has never given him a chance.
That's what I'm saying. If you went and drafted a quarterback, why would his tenure there be any better than Daniels?
It wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, Mike was in the belief of that Jones just isn't going to cut it in New York.
Nah.
Which I don't see. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's proved it. He has shades of it. Even in their losses this year, it's not been on Jones.
Look, Eli in his fifth year, I think it was his fourth or fifth year in the NFL, made a wild card run that will go down as one of the greatest wild card runs ever.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming.
Nope.
Everyone in that season was just like, they're not going to make the playoffs. Typical Giants season. They made it, and they ran the gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's all it takes is just getting the opportunity and then shining when you get it.
Well, I know and look, I love Eli. Eli's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. And this is coming just because of a Giants fan. Right. But it doesn't hurt to have a defense the way that team.
Remember, that defense really solidified itself in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, towards the end of the year, because they were all hurt.
Right, that's what
they all came back at the perfect time, and that's when they put the road. That's when they were the road warriors.
What I'm saying now is, look, the Giants could do something similar. Obviously, they don't have Umanura, Tuck, Strahan, and those guys.
Yeah,
but it's a trade away. One guy. It just takes one guy on an NFL team to say, "I'm not happy here." Yeah. For the Giants to make a trade for them, and it spins everything for you.
I don't. And again, nothing against. Look, I think they did what they needed to do with their secondary. That's all they really did address is their secondary. They got the young kid from the draft who's actually been what is it? Not Azari. What's his name?
Hold on. Let me look it up.
He's been good. Obviously, Blake Martinez. They're gonna have to do something because Blake Martinez being out for the year now is gonna hurt them. They don't really have they don't have that one guy. Oh, they have Leonard Williams, obviously. Who's
Darius Williams?
Who?
Rodarius Williams.
No.
All right, is it Darnay Holmes?
No.
Jeez. Madre Harper?
Nope.
I don't know then. DeAndre Baker?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, but even still, I think you're right, especially because they Blake Martinez is out. They're gonna have to probably pick somebody up. They need somebody that can pass rush. With the exception of, like I said, I think it's Leonard Williams is the one guy that is whatever. Look, if I'm gonna go surprise of the week, I don't know. I took that graphic off. I got to go Cardinals. And again, and I said this to you before we went on. It's not necessarily the Cardinals won, because the Cardinals are a good team. And I even said it, the Cardinals are a good team. They got, one of the best defenses, if not the best. I think at that point, I think the Panthers might have had the better defense edge-wise, but I don't think so now. But the way they beat in LA, this offense, 37-20, it's how they won. That I'm like, oh wow, that was surprise of the game. Surprise of the week for me. The Jets is an easy one, especially because the Jets beat the Titans. But when you I already knew about Jones and Brown being out, so I kind of, and that's why my brother went and picked the Jets. He ended up winning the spread because of it. But
it still shocks me.
The Cardinals, I still can't believe that. And they are for real. You're right. They are for real.
Led by Murray.
Led by Murray. Even what do you call it? Chase Edmonds had a good game on the ground.
Yep.
Who the fuck is this guy I'm thinking of?
But that's what's going to be great for that team, is the idea that they can air it out with the best of them.
Yeah.
Because when you get to the playoffs, you got to play Rodgers, you got to play Dak, you got to play Russell, you got to play Brady, and those are guys that could just sit on an island and air it out. and he's got the weapons to. And also keep this in your back pocket, Joe. Keep this in your back pocket. They could bring back Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald said he doesn't want to do training camp. He doesn't want to do mini camp. He doesn't want to do any of that. But if someone called him around playoff time or towards the end of the season, he's in shape enough to just pop back in. I can see the Cardinals bringing him back for the run, because you got to get Larry the chip.
Really quick, I finally found it. It's Azeez Ojulari.
Wow.
And he's a linebacker. They drafted him.
Oh, a linebacker. I thought you said a corner. I'm sorry.
No. I said the secondary they built up. I said, but as far as a pass rush, with the exception of this new guy, yeah.
Okay.
Ojulari.
That was my mistake then. I was looking up.
No, all right. I finally found it. Okay. All right, good. Do it. Yeah. Look, I mean, Larry, but is that needed though? Do they need a Larry Fitzgerald?
100%. 100%. Because what's going to happen is when you get to the playoffs, they're going to hone in on DeAndre Hopkins as much as they can. I mean, that doesn't usually work. But
who's the other? But you even said that even if they double up on Hopkins, they have that other who's the other one?
Green, who had a huge game.
Yeah, they have Green.
Kirk. They got Captain Kirk.
Right.
He's also good. I can't remember their tight end. It's not Gresham. I don't think it's Gresham. I can't remember.
But you're right. I mean, would it hurt them to get Larry back? No, of course not.
No, it'll only help. It only enhance, because Larry was Mr. Third Down for Arizona. So he's
how old is Larry?
You rely on.
How old is Larry now?
Like 34, 35.
Oh, I don't know why I thought he was late 30s. Yeah, but still, I mean, why not?
That's what I'm saying. He's not playing a full season. That's why he said he can come back later on in the season.
Yeah,
he's just playing for the playoff stretch. Yeah,
and possibly get a ring from this crowd.
That's what I'm saying. And here's the positive. Like, I'm not wishing this at all, but let's say he gets injured or he's not as productive. The team's winning without him. So it's not like, oh, he goes down. What are we gonna do? We got to figure something. No, he's just a little bonus. He's like a little cherry on top.
Yeah, and he's also like you said, he's a body on the field, and whether he gets the ball or not, he can, like you said, serve as a decoy, possibly as well. And get some of these other guys open.
Yep. That's what you need. You need to be able in the playoffs to free up DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
By switching him around, and having Larry there could only help. I
agree. All right, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a really good season. As far especially especially when we're in November. Obviously we'll know more as the weeks go on. But this team, the Cardinals, the Rams, most of the teams in the West are teams to be teams to watch.
And it's crazy. The two teams you just named are in the same division.
I know. That West is actually a very good division, including the 49ers.
It's probably the best.
So, it's definitely not the NFC East.
I'm sorry. No, it's not the best.
No,
that's an AFC West.
I was going to say that. Well, but that's the thing. Both conferences, both Western divisions are really good.
Right. But I would give the edge. I would give the edge to the AFC.
Okay.
I would give it the edge. Purely because they're all younger.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Kyler Murray's young. Jimmy Garoppolo is not old, but he's also not Kyler Murray young.
No, but I don't even honestly, dude. I mean, we're not going to get Garoppolo probably for another couple of weeks. It looks like Trey Lance is coming in, but I mean, Garoppolo really just seems like he's just going to continue to get hurt. I'm
telling you now. I'm calling it now. We have a New England situation here. I think Garoppolo is about to get Brady. I think Lance is going to come in and lead this team, and it's going to be impossible to put Jimmy G
I don't see Garoppolo coming back. I don't. Unless Trey Lance, I'm not saying becomes a bust, but if Trey Lance can't lead the team like you said and doesn't have good games, then obviously you have the discussion. All right, you got to put Garoppolo in when he's better. But I was saying the same thing yesterday. I even messaged Mike. I know the 49ers lost, but Trey Lance actually looked pretty good.
Yeah. Again, it's his first NFL snaps, real NFL snaps.
Yeah.
Just give it time. Give it time. Even what's his name is starting to look better. Justin Fields.
Yeah.
it's starting to grow his game.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was another good game too. The Bears came up. I wasn't expecting the Bears to win, to be honest with you, but Montgomery's also having a really good year so far too.
Yes, he is. Yep.
Yeah. So it doesn't hurt to have Montgomery. And who did wait, hold on. Who did they play? Lions. Wait, I picked the fucking Bears. What am I talking about? They play the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked the Bears. I was like, I forgot they played the Lions. But no, the Lions were actually, even in their losses, were playing. I know they're 0-4, but the Lions almost came back a couple of times in late in the game. So the Lions proved that they can score. I mean, like I said, Goff is no scrub, but at the same time, I'm glad the Bears won. All right. Well, speaking of picks, let's do this. Let's go on and do our picks. Juwan, you had another good week. I don't actually have the tally. I haven't been tallying these things. I'm fucking lazy. I got to start tallying. Like, what is the point of doing these picks if I'm not tallying them?
I thought I got a whole bunch wrong when you said.
No, you ended up in the 16 games? No, 15, because the 16th is tonight. Right. You were like 10-5?
I gotta start betting. Betting.
I think Mike said that. Mike told you he wants to pick your ear. Pick your ear. Pick your brain. Come here, I want to pick your ear. What's in your ear? He said he wants to pick your brain for some picks, betting wise.
Yeah, man.
Might make him some money. All right, let's just go, Joe. And I wish Mike was watching, but he's probably at the doctor now. I'm just gonna. Yeah. All right. So Thursday night's going to be a good game. Obviously short week for both teams. Rams traveling over to Seattle, playing against the 12th. Was it 12th man? Is that what it's called? 12th man.
Yep.
Yeah. Now Seattle again. I know Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. I do know that. And I picked against him a couple of times and got burned. My worry about this game though, and the reason why I'm probably going to go Rams, and I know we're playing in Seattle. I do know that, but I feel like the Seattle defense is very suspect. And against this offense, as good as Russell Wilson can be, I think the Rams are probably going to edge them, maybe by a field goal. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but that Seattle defense is very questionable. It really is. And that Rams defense, too, to allow as many points as they did against the Cardinals. And again, I know it's the Cardinals. I do not. Look, I know it's Kyler Murray. I know that. Again, this is Russell Wilson, but at the same time, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game, hopefully. I'm going to go Rams.
I'm going Seattle.
Okay.
Mainly because Jalen Ramsey did a great job on DeAndre Hopkins.
He did.
But unfortunately for the Rams, there's only one Jalen Ramsey. So it left the rest of the field wide open.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like Jalen Ramsey will affect DK Metcalf. That's obvious.
But you still have Lockett.
I was just about to say, the question is, can Lockett and the rest of those guys step up? And I believe they will. Russ needs this. Russ really does.
He does.
Another losing season for Seattle. A lot of NFL teams have what they believe are their franchise quarterback. So it's slim pickings for where he could go if he ever wanted to leave Seattle. You messed that up when you let the Bears draft their quarterback. So yeah, I'm going Seattle just purely because they need this win. They need it.
All right. Yeah. And especially in a division as tight as the West. Like I said, put the 49ers aside. Even though I think the 49ers are a good team, record wise, they're on the bottom, but Rams 3-1, Seahawks are 2-2. This is tight. This is going to be very tight. So yeah, you gotta win these games, especially if you want to compete in in that division. Especially at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, if they lose, I wouldn't be surprised because it is against a very good offense, and that defense. Be shocked
either. That's why my pick is purely because the Seahawks need to approach this as a desperation game. You got to win. You got to win.
Same way the Chiefs needed the Chiefs approached their win this week as a desperation game.
Almost lost that.
Yeah. You say, look, you tell me Mahomes throws 5 touchdowns, right? And and you almost lose a game. That's tough. But look, no, they obviously came out against the Eagles. All right. We got the London game this year. 9:30 in the morning, Jets versus Falcons. I mean, Falcons is the home team. What do you got? I think Matt Matt Ryan narrowly lost this game. The Falcons narrowly lost this game yesterday. And that Jets, although they did win, they beat a Titans team that Derrick Henry still had a great game. But again, they were out. They're two top receivers. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Matt Ryan and the Falcons here.
I want to disagree with you, man, but I'm really tired of putting house money on Matt Ryan and watching him burn the house down. Like, it's really getting annoying at this point.
Yeah.
I want to believe in Zach Wilson, but I also don't like the idea of the Jets ever having a better record than New England. So I'm going to go Falcons.
Okay. I think that's easy. Although, I mean, it's not an easy pick because the Jets played really good yesterday. All right. 0-4 Lions at the 1-3 Minnesota Vikings. But you know what? And we've said this though too. The Vikings, even in their losses, didn't look bad.
No,
it didn't.
They are who they are.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cousins, and I'm going with Cousins and the Vikings. Is Dalvin Cook still out?
Let me see. I'm not sure.
I'm still going to go Vikings, but I just want to know. I don't know. If, I didn't know the status on Dalvin Cook.
Let me see.
But yeah, Minnesota at home. The Lions, also the Bears.
Oh, actually, Dalvin Cook played.
Okay, he did play. All right. So yeah, I'm going Minnesota. I'll take Minnie at home.
Yeah, he played, but they did did a really good job just putting a harness on him. This is tough. I'm gonna go Minnesota. I'm gonna just buddy with you on that. I'll go.
All right. Saints are traveling to Washington. So what do you got here? Washington has shown. I don't know. This is a tough one because again, I don't know which Winston we're gonna get. They did just lose to the Giants.
We didn't get a bad Winston this.
No,
week.
you didn't. You didn't. No, you didn't. I mean, I want the Saints to win because I need Washington to lose, but I don't know. At home, the way Heineke's been playing, at defense, who did Washington just win? Who did they just beat? Because I picked them. The Falcons.
I was gonna say. I thought you said Atlanta.
Yeah, it was Atlanta. I'm gonna go Washington. I'm gonna regret it, but I'm going Washington.
I'm going New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not a bad pick.
I mean, because if they lose back-to-back weeks, again, no offense, but to the Giants and then Washington, we can't take them seriously.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
definitely not.
Because it's like you're too much of a roller coaster. Like I don't understand. I also don't. That was one thing I was going to ask you, but we'll need to get into it. I am curious what the Giants did that New England just couldn't. Playing against the Saints. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, speaking of New England, they're traveling to Houston to play on the Texans. What do you got there? I'm going. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I'm going to go Patriots. Tyrod Taylor's still out,
mm-hmm.
right? I believe Mills is still going to be the quarterback. I think he threw 4 interceptions yesterday. I mean, they got whooped 40-0 by the Bills.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, games like that should be able to wave a white flag.
Yeah. So I'm going Pats in this one, even though they're away.
Bill loves playing him some rookies. His succession rate against rookies is extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
And this is do or die for New England, man. Like, I know a lot of people like to just look at the season as, look, you got a rookie, so this is just growing pains. But I also remind people 1-3 in a year that has extended games.
Yeah,
you now have an extra game. New England has plenty of time to cover.
It's plenty of time. 1-3. I don't think it's it's not time to wave the white flag. Right. 1-4, yeah.
1-4,
no. Impossible, no.
What makes it hard for them is you have to play Buffalo twice.
Yep.
You have not played Buffalo yet. So I would have preferred if we played Buffalo and then Tampa and whatever our record was is whatever it is, and then it was Saints, Texans, and then whatever else going forward. But it didn't work out that way. So look,
Now,
I don't
their
know.
schedule does not help them moving forward. So, yeah,
Mm.
they need a win.
Yes. So I'm picking New England. And I'm going to say the same thing I said last week for the Bucks game that I was way off for. I'm going to go 2 or 3 touchdowns. They win this game by 2 or 3
Yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah, you were a little off there. You said 2 touchdowns.
You said 2 touchdowns for Tampa, though.
Yeah, I did. I said, look, I said if anything, it would be the other way. But yeah, again, it was a disgusting game. But also, too, though,
Right.
not for nothing, Antonio Brown's got to start catching the fucking ball.
Well, our guys have to stop fumbling balls. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacoby Myers, that was a fumble. I'm glad they called it back, but he fumbled on the first scrimmage play.
Back to back plays. He went to the same guy in the same part of the end zone. One, he didn't even know where the fucking ball was. Then they went right back to it. He threw a laser. Brady couldn't have thrown it any better.
I will say this, though. That was, if you're Antonio Brown, you have to be kicking yourself because if Stephon Gilmore was in the game, he would have been on Mike Evans, and Jason Jackson would have been on Antonio Brown, and that would have just made that night a lot harder. Yeah. So the fact that you got our slot corner in Jonathan Jones, and you couldn't bring one of those in, it showed how much they needed Gronk in that game because that's the 50-50 ball you just throw up to Gronk.
Yeah, no, Gronk is the absence of Gronk hurts them too. You know, the guy's got, I think, 4 cracked ribs and a punctured lung. Shit. Fuck.
Yeah, those, and it's gonna make it tough because if I'm a defender and I know that you have bad ribs, those 50-50 balls that he throws you,
he's getting shots. He's taking shots to the chest.
I'm running from the locker room to hit you.
Yeah.
I'm getting as much momentum as possible to knock all that air out of your body.
I agree. And yeah. Well, look, speaking another great segue, Joanne, and speaking of the Bucks, you got the 1-3 Dolphins traveling to not very far north up to Tampa Bay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, Miami's as south as you can get. Traveling just a little up north to Tampa Bay.
Yep.
I'm going Tampa here.
I'm gonna shock you.
All right.
Every ex-New England coach has had a high succession rate against Tom Brady, taking out Bill O'Brien. That's the anomaly. But Matt Patricia beat Brady when he went up against them. Brian Flores beat Brady when he went up against them. Romeo Crennel beat Brady when he went up against them. I'm going Brian Flores, even though I know Tua's probably not playing.
Yeah.
If there's still no Gronk and they're still thin at corners, I'm going Miami by a field goal. Upsetting the Bucks next week.
Okay. All right. I actually had you down for Bucks. Let me cross that out.
You thought that was one of those give me games. Yeah.
Yeah. This coming up one is not going to be a give me game because the Bengals are at home. I mean, I'm quick to say Packers. It's Packers at Cincy. But with Mixon and Burrow, what they've been doing, the team is a legitimate 3-1 team. Rodgers and Green Bay, even though they're sort of back to old form, sometimes don't look as sharp as you'd want Green Bay to be.
Yep.
So this one's a tough one. This one isn't a give me. It's hard to look. It's hard. I'm going to pick Packers and I'm going to pick Rodgers and Packers just because it's Rodgers and Packers. I think the Bengals, if they win, it's not going to be a shock, and I think the Bengals probably are going to win. But it's just like I said. It's just I'm going to go with the Packers. I know
don't hedge it. You're hedging it, Joe.
I know you're probably going with Bengals.
No. I don't see anybody in that secondary that can stop Devontae Adams, and that's honestly what it's going to always come down to.
Yeah.
If you can't stop Devontae Adams, Rodgers is going to have a field day. So I'm going Packers.
Okay, I got you down for Packers. All right, Broncos at Steelers. Now the Broncos are without. Well, they were without Teddy Bridgewater. He went down with concussion. He's doubtful, I think, for this coming week. They're playing Pittsburgh at home. It's a really good defense. You got Drew Lock at the center. This 3-1 Broncos team is starting to look like maybe they're 3-1 because they played some shitty teams. I don't know. Like, again, I know their defense. It's their defense you got to watch, especially with Von Miller. But they didn't. That 3-0 Broncos team, because I was even talking to my brother and he picked who did they lose to? Who the Broncos just lose to?
Let's see. I can't remember who they lost to. Broncos.
We all picked the Broncos.
Oh, Ravens.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
23-7.
Yeah. So you face a team like the Ravens, and you get I don't know. What was the final score? 23-7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it was convincing. I don't know, but it's against the Steelers. I know I know their defense is their defense, and it's not Teddy at the center. I'm gonna say, and they're still without Judy, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh just because they're home.
I'm going Pittsburgh because I don't trust this team without Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I don't trust this team right now. Now I'm starting to question the team. And again, I'm not saying nothing. Obviously, nothing against Teddy, because when Teddy was in there, Teddy gives you a chance to win. I believe, and I definitely believe that. I don't think Locke does.
No,
but they really didn't play anybody good.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes that's not really.
And look, and I hate when people say that though. And look, I'm going to sound hypocritical here because I hate when people say that. Well, who'd you beat? You beat up? Well, we're supposed to beat the bad teams.
Well, also, I don't make my own schedule, so it's not like I said,
Yeah.
you know what?
We play who was scheduled. What do you want us to do? We didn't choose to play fucking scrubs or whatever,
right.
But at the same time, look, like I said, without Teddy at the center, I know Locke knows the offense and I know he knows the plays, but you're throwing him at a really good defense. So I'm going to go Steelers at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Steelers.
Here's another one. You got Eagles at Panthers. Now the Eagles had a good game. They did. They had a good game. They actually almost pulled an upset against the Chiefs.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts had a really good game as well. Really good game.
Did I go with Kansas City?
Yeah, we all went Chiefs.
Okay. I felt like I was wrong on that.
Across the board, we all went Chiefs.
Okay.
This Eagles team has proven that they can play, but their defense has proven that they can also give up a lot of points. I know it was against Mahomes and the Chiefs, but this Panthers offense is pretty good. And Darnold, I know he threw a couple of interceptions in yesterday's loss, but he's also proven that he's a better quarterback than he was in New York. So and they're home, and I think that defense is a lot better than they showed up in yesterday's game. So I'm going to go, and they also play Dallas. Dallas, their offense, whether it's a Zeke on the ground or Dak in the air, Dallas has got a really good offense. But I'm going to go Panthers at home.
I'm going Eagles because if Eagles can match Dallas's playbook against Sam Darnold struggled only because his offensive line couldn't keep him upright.
Yeah.
And when they did, you saw him score what? They had 28 points, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think if the Eagles can get to him, it can cause some mistakes. And I think what's his name at quarterback can definitely cash in on some of those mistakes that Darnold makes. So I'm going Eagles by a field goal.
Well, and the other question too is McCaffrey going to be in?
I think if I'm Panthers, I'm holding him off. Let's say they said he should be back this week.
Right.
I'm giving him another week.
Okay.
Just because you need him if you want any hopes of going anywhere. So to me, I would hold him off personally. Give him another week. Because it's not like we're 0-4 and we're desperate for a win here.
Yeah.
No, obviously you don't want to drop another one, but if you do, you're what, 3-2?
3-2.
Yeah, come on, dude. Come on.
All right, Titans at Jaguars.
Come on, Titans.
Yeah, I already wrote it down. Don't worry about it.
Cool.
I got you. Browns at Chargers. Now, Chargers obviously play tonight, so right now they're still 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
They got a tough game against the Raiders. You picked the Raiders to win. I agree. I think the Raiders can pull it off, but I went with with Herbert and the Chargers. They're at home and they're playing a really good, and Mayfield. I think this is the second game Mayfield hasn't even thrown a touchdown. They still won.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was a dogfight game. It was like Browns 7 or something like that.
Yeah, the Browns have proved, and it was against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Well, no. The Bengals played the Jaguars. I'm sorry, that was the Bengals and Jaguars that Thursday night game. Browns played
Minnesota, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, it was Minnesota. You're right.
Yeah, 13-7. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Browns are proving that they can do it. They have Kareem Hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have Chubb. Is it Chubb or Chubbs?
No, it's Chubb.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. You got Hunt, you got Chubb. And again, Mayfield didn't even get in the end zone. So that's and the Browns have been playing really well. But because, and again, I know we're at a little bit of a disadvantage because the Chargers haven't played their fourth game yet. But I'm going to still go Chargers at home.
I'm going Chargers too. I chose against them this week because I love Derek Carr. I said Derek Carr before.
Derek Carr, you're right.
Carr. Because I love Derek Carr so much, but I'm not picking against Justin Herbert again. I went with this kid in one of his biggest games of the year so far, and he came through for me. So
if he throws 4 interceptions, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if he throws 4 interceptions in tonight's loss, do you still go with him?
100%.
Okay.
100%. 100%. Because he's shown me he can have a game like the game he had against the Chiefs. So it's like he could bounce back from that.
All right. Well, speaking of your boy Derek Carr, I'm telling you, these segues, Jesus.
I try, man.
2-2 Bears coming to visit the now 3-0 Raiders. Again, they still haven't played.
Regardless if they lose tonight or not, Raiders.
You going Raiders?
Yeah, Raiders. Yeah. Raiders.
It's tough. It's tough to pick against the Raiders. And like I said, look, if it wasn't the Chargers and Justin Herbert, I wouldn't have went for any other team. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, but I would have went Raiders easily for tonight's game. But it's hard. It is hard picking against the Raiders, and these next 2 games, especially tonight. Tonight should actually prove what kind of team they actually are.
Both teams.
Yeah, for both teams, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see that more whatever. Okay. You got a Western rival here in San Fran and Arizona at Arizona. I'm going Cardinals. I think it's a no-brainer, but the 49ers, again, even in their losses, have shown that they do belong in some subject of conversation in the West. They're not going to just lay down and die.
Right.
But, Trey Lance, probably going to be his first official NFL start. So, and he did show some signs and some shades of some good football yesterday and then the loss, but you can't go right now. You can't pick against the Cardinals.
Nope. And I will not.
And at home. So
I'm going with Kyler Murray. I'm riding that Kyler Murray train.
All right, here we go. The game I've been dreading to pick. The Giants at Dallas. Now, I know what I want to put on paper, but I just don't want to put on paper because I don't want to put it in existence. But that Cowboys offense, man. Jesus.
Look, man.
I'm going to go. I went against them last week, or I should say yesterday, and they ended up winning. I'm going to go Giants.
I'm going to go Giants too. I want to put a caveat, but I'm not going to. But if they let Daniel Jones spread it out and attack those DBs, even though those DBs for Dallas have been playing really well this year.
Yeah.
To me, do it. To me, go all out, attack them, and I think the Giants can. It's just I'm really nervous on if you can stop the run.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, Kamara had a good game, but there were no Kamara had to get I think he averaged like almost 5 yards for about just over 4 yards a carry. Kamara, he had a good game against them. He did, but he didn't have one of those breakout runs. So the Giants were able to contain him. I think he's a slight. I personally think if I had to pick between the two, I would go with Kamara over Zeke. I think Zeke is still good though. Zeke is right there. But yeah, that's going to be a big thing. Is if the Giants can contain the run, but also contain those receivers. I mean, it's just, it's hard. Like I really thought you were going to go Cowboys because I almost want to say Cowboys. I just don't want to put it in existence. I honestly think the Cowboys are going to have a field day with this team, but Giants can shock you. They can, and sometimes they win these games you don't think they're going to win.
Look,
I didn't think against Seattle last year.
I didn't think you guys could beat New Orleans.
Yeah.
And yes, Dallas is a better team top to bottom than New Orleans, but still, I think the Giants have a shot. And again, I always tell people this because a lot of people, they don't really truly understand this. Division games will forever be the most unpickable games ever because they play each other so differently. It's why when you hear Jets play Patriots, you can't just go, oh, no, Cam Newton will easily beat the Jets. Joe Flacco came in there and almost won that game.
Yeah.
So it's not that simple. Division games, division rivals always play each other way harder than any other teams. So to me, I think the Giants could play hard, and they got something to prove, man. You got to prove that this game wasn't a fluke.
Yeah. I agree. And well, it's not only that though. I mean, they're 1-3. The Cowboys are 3-1. If the Cowboys go 4-1, they can almost pretty much say they're going to run away with the division. I think. But I know Washington's right behind them. I know that, but the Giants can't afford to go 1-4. So that's the other thing too. Prove yourself, yeah, but also at the same time, don't dig yourself a deeper hole. All right. Last game for Sunday, and then we'll go into Monday night, but this one's a big one. The Bills at Chiefs. Now, the Bills are not only 3-1, but they've shut out the last two opponents. And they're winning again. I know they beat the Texans without Tyrod Taylor, but at the same time, just to win 40-0 against any NFL opponent is hard.
Very hard.
But, and they're going against a struggling Chiefs team. The Chiefs defense is not what it used to be. The Chiefs defense is allowing a lot of points.
No.
And, Josh Allen, you got, who's it, Singletary on the ground, right?
You got Diggs. You
got weapons.
Yeah, you got weapons. I can't think of what else the Bills have.
They do. I can't either. But the Bills, my brother's probably yelling out all these names, and I have no idea. But this is a tough one. And I normally would never pick against Mahomes and the Chiefs, especially at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to come out swinging in yesterday's game, and they did. But again, the Eagles played them pretty well. So
yeah.
That being said, I don't know. I think I'm going Bills in this one.
I'm going Bills easily. Bills have the third best cornerback in the NFL. And he does not get enough coverage, but he is the third best. They have the fourth best safety in the NFL. And I think that's really it's gonna close in. They're gonna put Tre'Davious White probably on Hill, box him in, have a safety over top. So you can't take the roof off. And I think it's going to be a real uncomfortable game for Kansas City.
He's going to be the big factor. I know Hill didn't have a really good game in last week, but yesterday's game, he had 3 touchdowns. The guy he can get open. I mean, he's probably, like I said, he's one of the fastest guys, if not the fastest guy in the NFL right now. So that's going to be a problem. And then look, if you've covered him well, you still have Kelsey, you still have other players you have to worry about. And I'm blanking. Is it Hilaire? Who's the running back for the Chiefs?
Oh God, I don't
even. Isn't it like Hilaire or something like that?
Let me see. I don't even know. I don't even remember who their running back is. Is it?
Yeah, because he had actually a pretty good game yesterday.
Let's see.
It's like
Clyde Edwards.
Clyde Edwards. It's like a hyphenated name. Clyde Edwards Hilaire. Yeah. So he had a decent game yesterday. So that's another thing that the Bills have to also watch and be able to stop. But I think the Bills are going to be able to do it. Yep. I picked the Bills. All right. And then, of course, we got a Monday night game. Colts at Ravens. Colts got their first win yesterday of the season. Ravens are playing really good football. They're at home. I'm gonna go Ravens.
Yep. Same here. Not picking against Lamar.
No, definitely not. And Carson, no, whatever.
Nope.
I'm done picking the Colts. But yeah, especially not against the Ravens. I don't know why. Why did I go against the Ravens in yesterday's game?
Because you weren't sold on Lamar Jackson.
It's not that I'm not sold on Lamar Jackson. I guess I thought they weren't going to win. I have no idea.
I don't know why.
I also don't like the Ravens, but
right. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
But all right. Well, that'll do it for today's Monday morning quarterback. Like I said, we've been spoiled the last few weeks with some really good games and really good football. And if next week is anything like this, it should be good, especially with some of the matchups. That Sunday night game is probably going to be hopefully one of the better games. Bills at Chiefs. It could be an AFC championship game. What do you call preview? It could be. It could very well be. Mm-hmm. Remember, I picked the Bills. I actually picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. I picked the Bills to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I also picked the Bucks. I don't know if I still go with that one, but for the NFC. But
I'm staying Pack with my Chargers.
I think this is going to be a good preview and a good sense of what the teams are. So and like I said, we're now in we're in week 5.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when we should start to what?
No, I said we're getting there.
This is where you start knowing who teams are and if they're for real or not. And and I think it's going to start to come. So all right, Juwan, I do want to of course welcome you back. Thank you very much for coming on. Your link, as always, is in the description. I made sure I did it before the show. So, guys, please go on and follow Juwan. The link to his YouTube channel is in the description. Go give him some love. And, of course, we'll be back next. Let me take this off. OCD. We'll be back next Monday morning for another edition of Monday Morning Quarterback. Juwan, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Actually, I'll see you tonight.
Yes, I will see you tonight for
our Malignant spoiler review. So, guys, if you're into horror movies, if you've seen the movie Malignant by James Wan, dropped a couple of weeks ago, it's out. It's been watched. We're gonna find. Well, actually, no, like a month ago, I think it was released. Right? It's been out for a while. Yeah, it's just we've been trying to coordinate this and we can get everybody together. And we actually have a good group of people that's going to come on. So that's going to be live at 7 p.m. tonight. So if you're interested in that, guys, please go and watch that. Or if it's on my channel already, go and watch that. And that should be fun. So until 7 o'clock tonight, Joanne, I'll see you later.
See ya.
All right.
Is it still live?
It's circling. I don't know what's going on. Keep your shirt on just in case.
I'm looking at it, it's still saying live.
Yeah, it's not ending. Maybe it just does it. It wants us to keep going. It won't let me. Having trouble.
You were like, yeah, it's doesn't want to go.
It says having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connection. Well, I mean, I'm on.
That's weird. If you're having trouble connecting, why wouldn't you just end me?
Yeah. No, honestly, dude, I've complained to Verizon several times thinking that it's Verizon. I have no issues with anything right now. My phone is fine. Everything's fine. I have no idea what's going on.
That means the only thing we can do is just leave studio.
Yeah, I'm going to just end up doing that. But all right. I will see you tonight.
Yes, sir. Just the link you send me, can I send that to someone else?
Yeah, you should be able to, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll just send that to Dom.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, it'll be the same. It's the same code for everybody.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.